The Phillies went out of the baseball playoffs in a way they would like to forget. With the game tied, bases loaded with Dodgers, 2 outs in the 11th, Philly reliever Orion Kerkering, did I get that right? Kerkering botched that slow roller back to the mound. Yeah. Instead of trying to get the out at first base to end the inning and the threat, he tried for the force at the plate and unleashed what he later called a horse bleep throw. Dodgers win and advance. Oh, my God. Tone, what did you make of how it happened?
So I was glued to that game. And, you know, in that moment when Kerkering throws it away and the Dodgers score and the Dodgers win, the next shot is poignant and cinematic. The Dodgers are running around the infield. They're literally running around Kerkering, who is in the front of the mound, in front of the mound. His head is down and his hands are on his knees. It is the moment of ultimate sadness for him and ultimate joy, well, not World Series joy, but to keep winning a series. Ultimate joy for the Dodgers. And you feel for the kid at that point. Now, we've seen this 100 times already. We see Real Muto standing there pointing to first, saying, throw it to first. And the kid is, I don't know, 40 feet away from home plate and throws it hard and throws it wide right. And loses in that moment, and it's game over, series over. It's terrible. But I would point out to people that the only reason that the Phillies got the run that they got was on an error by a Dodgers relief pitcher, and that was Emmett Sheehan. There's a man on first, ground ball to Freeman. Freeman goes to Mookie, covering shortstop. Mookie comes back. The reliever is now covering first as he's supposed to do. Mookie has a good throw. He just misses it, goes into the dugout. The runner gets on second. Next batter up gets a hit, and you get a run. And it should have been 2 out and nobody on.
I feel for this kid. I have covered a lot of events in my life where somebody made a mistake, a gaffe, and you identify immediately when you're there and you're in a locker room and you're 2 feet away from that person in misery. This is the definition of the phrase agony of defeat. Yeah. I was there when Ernest Biner fumbled at the goal line for, I'm sorry if everybody in Cleveland is just turning the TV off, in a huge game that the Browns are going to get to the Super Bowl. And to see the misery, but I was lifted a little bit in this case. I was lifted. I needed to feel better in that the way the Phillies players came to him and hugged him and talked to him and his manager and his coaches, and he's trying to walk right through them to get to a place where he can be by himself. And they're like, no, you're going to take this hug. Yeah. Essentially is what they did. Yeah. And that made me, that image is going to stay with me much longer than anything the Dodgers did last night.
So I think all the baseball series have been great. But you know that I do like the Phillies. I admire the Phillies. I think the Dodgers are a little bit better. Glasnow was great last night. Yeah. Sasaki was great last night. I would have walked in the bottom of the 7th, I would have walked Ohtani as well, but I was stunned that Mookie Betts, on the 3-2 pitch, he didn't go for it. It was this high. It wasn't this high. It was this high. That's all it was.
What was Ohtani going into that at bat? Like 1 for 19 or something?
Lefty power, righty-lefty situation. But if Mookie Betts thinks he's going to walk against a guy who had one walk in 23 games, really? Let's stay with baseball. Move to where you were last night, Wrigley Field in Chicago, where your Cubs once again scored early. Ian Happ hit a 3-run homer in the first inning. Matthew Boyd, who I know you like, went into the 5th, gave up nothing. The Cubs shut out the Brewers 6-0, forced a decisive Game 5 tomorrow. Wilbon, what are your takeaways from the game, and who do you think has the edge tomorrow?
There's winning. There's winning and staying alive. But, you know, I've been to Wrigley Field 150 games in my life, and very few of them, if any, were like last night. Everybody who was there, who was either there or watching, understands if you're a Chicagoan, we got a lot of losing in Wrigley Field in the postseason. We got Bartman.
You got Bartman.
Okay, the one World Series in anybody's lifetime, we lost 2 of those 3. And so the third game was just like desperation, just to get through it. And to have that crowd, both managers said later, and I couldn't know this at the time, both managers said the crowd and the atmosphere affected the outcome of the game. Who says that? It was that
both
loud.
Managers say that, obviously.
I know. But there was a joyousness about it. It wasn't as desperate as I might think because the Cubs were facing elimination. And the home run in the first inning, which took a lot of the pressure off the Ian Happ hit, that was just a bomb. it really changed things. And the question is, Tony, when they go back to Milwaukee, this is a 90-mile trip. That's all this is. When they go back to Milwaukee, is there any momentum, or does it just not matter in the way that you and I, as we covered baseball, were told by managers, Earl Weaver, it doesn't matter?
Yeah, I mean, I would only say this, that the Milwaukee Brewers scored 3 runs in 18 innings in Chicago, which is terrible, but they scored 16 in 16 in Milwaukee in the first.
Yeah.
I have some questions for you. Did you wear a Cubs jersey?
I had Cubs stuff.
Did you wear a Cubs jersey?
Not
a Banks jersey?
Not a jersey.
Okay.
Okay.
You were afraid it was going to be cold. Did you get inside? Did you go in a suite, or did you sit out? Did you tough it out?
Blowing. It was great.
So you toughed it out the whole way?
Toughed it out. 62 degrees.
I'm proud. Well,
Yeah, I did.
You were afraid at the beginning it was going to be too cold. Didn't anybody offer you a seat in a suite?
I don't need it. I was fine. It was like you're gonna laugh at me for saying this. It was sort of the crowd and the scene and all of it was sort of like the nights when Jordan played against the Lakers in the finals early in his career, the early finals. Patrick Kane and the Blackhawks when they actually went out and won. This is a place looking at that team and falling in love with that team. We may not have long to be in love with them because Game 5 is tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And I don't know about pitching. I don't. Imanaga, who you'd like to trot out there, has not been effective.
I think it's an 8 o'clock game. 8 o'clock game.
I thought it was, okay, 8 o'clock, good. All right, good enough.
Okay.
8 o'clock Eastern.
I just wanted to know how you...
We're falling in love with them, but I'd like to have Dodgers, Cubs. That's what I'd like to have.
Well, you have a chance.
Fight with Irvin Johnson.
You do have a chance. Let's take a break. Coming up.